Hello and welcome to Gar1onriva's Top 5. Today I'm going to be talking about my top 5 fictional gaming cities. This was voted for by my patrons. Please consider pledging to my Patreon, linked in the description if you want to have your say. Game developers have invented many incredible locations, and some of the most memorable and inventive of these are cities. Today I'll be listing my top 5 and an honourable mention of fictional cities from games. Note that this doesn't include gaming versions of cities. So Prototype's New York, for example, is New York. It's not fictional. 3 things to remember. First of all, these are my personal opinions, so please don't tell me I'm wrong. These are limited only to the ones that I know, and mild spoilers for the games. First of all, the honourable mention. Starlight Drive-In in Fallout 4. I decided early on that while my Fallout 4 settlements are great, it was mostly my efforts that made them so. Therefore, any cities or settlements that you have to build yourself are ineligible for this list. That said, you can do some amazing things with Fallout 4 settlements, especially with the Sim Settlements mod. So just wanted to mention that. Number 5. Los Santos in GTA 5. Okay, time to qualify something. Although Los Santos is Los Angeles in almost everything but name, it's not Los Angeles. They could have put an extra river or two or a mountain right next to it in Los Santos that isn't in Los Angeles, but it would have been fine because it's LS and not LA. But you can't say the same for if they made LA in a game, like in LA Noire, for example. If they put in an extra river, people would complain, hey, there isn't that river in LA, etc. Anyway, GTA 5's Los Santos is one of the most real cities I've ever seen in a game. Pedestrians go about their days getting on and off buses, catching taxis, police chase suspects in cars, fire engines and ambulances attend accidents, and all of that happens before you step outside your house. The vehicle and pedestrian density of GTA 5 is amazing for a game of its size. And granted, GTA 4's Liberty City had good car density too, Los Santos just feels more like a real city. Number 4. The Citadel from Mass Effect. I'm pushing the definition of a city here, but I still think it deserves to be on this list. In the Mass Effect series, the Citadel is a colossal space station comprised of a high society ring called the Presidium and 5 sort of wings called the wards where most people lived and worked. For inventiveness alone, the Citadel is right up there. The Presidium is designed so everyone walks on the outer edge of the ring, with the inner edge acting like an artificial sky. This makes it feel like you're outside. It's open, bright and colourful despite being on a space station. And by contrast, the wards feel a lot more confined. They're flat, so you get these views out the windows of all the buildings stretching away to the edge of the wards. And without the big open spaces, it feels like you're in a succession of sort of apartment blocks, which is fitting for the sort of lower class areas of the space station. While you don't get much of a sense of what it would be like to live there, except maybe in the Citadel DLC for Mass Effect 3, I haven't actually played that one yet, it is definitely well designed as a space station and as a part of their world. Number 3. Columbia from Bioshock Infinite. If you want a pretty city, you would be hard-pressed to do better than Columbia. It's a flying city held aloft by quantum particles that sit at a fixed height. Not sure how this lets the buildings bob, but they do, independently of each other. It's really beautiful. There are clear mechanisms to attach buildings and sections to each other, barges with clear sort of arrival times that travel between them, long cables for transporting cargo, and again not sure how they work with the bobbing buildings. Surely the cables would break or bend or snap or something, but apparently not. And the views are spectacular. Most of the city sits above cloud level, so there are usually bright blue skies. It is stunning. I cannot quite express how much. There is a bit of a crippling racism issue, so I don't think I'd want to live there, but aside from that, it's very pretty. Number 2. Garrow from Golden Sun: The Lost Age. I'm not sure I'll be able to explain this to a point where people are convinced, but I'll give it a go. Golden Sun is a series that was originally on the Game Boy Advance about sort of elemental abilities. Think Avatar: The Legend of Aang, minus the avatar and with a more Western theme. Garrow is a small village you visit one night, and it has always stuck in my head. As you approach, you pass a pond that reflects the brilliant full moon overhead, and all the villagers are quiet and robed, with reading their minds revealing odd thoughts that don't seem to make sense. The secret is that it is a village of werewolves that you've happened to visit during the full moon, so they're all covering their faces so they don't turn into wolves. I originally played The Lost Age on an emulator, and I have such fond memories of it. I played it before I started listening to music for fun, probably around 12 to 13 years ago, but when I heard Gar1on's music, I fell in love with it. Despite not being into music for music, I used to boot up the emulator and just stand in Gar1on so the music would play, while I was doing other things. I've since found remixes of it that are even more beautiful and haunting. You don't spend a lot of time there, but due to the strong memories I have of it, as well as the impact it had on me, I had to include this as my number 2. And finally, number 1, Pelican Town in Stardew Valley. I love Stardew Valley. For a long while it was my relaxation game, what I played to chill out after working on something. A lot of this was because of the town that you live in the game. Pelican Town is the most living, breathing town I have ever seen in a game. The people have schedules, jobs, hobbies, habits and secrets. They have people they like, people they don't like, and people they wish would like them. They each have a name, a personality, and interests. Compare that to Animal Crossing, where a bunch of randomly generated catchphrases and appearances like you for delivering items to people standing next to them. Everyone in Pelican Town has their place, their role in the town, and a lot of them explain to you why they moved there. You can become friends with them, do favours for them, and actually feel like you're helping a real person rather than just a weird cat who likes saying Badoom. The gameplay of Stardew Valley is good. The NPCs and the town of Stardew Valley are the best. And that is all for my list. Please comment below with your favourite fictional gaming cities, as well as suggestions for future top or bottom 5s. Remember that you can vote for next month's top 5 by pledging to my Patreon linked in the description. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you later.